Hey, what's up guys? Sean here. So the other day I was walking through Bass Pro Shop and I found this. So today we're gonna look at it, take it apart, check it out, and see if it's worth the money. Let's get it. So what we have here is the Survive Outdoor Longer SOL Scout Survival Kit. Now you guys know I love kits, I love little gadgets and things like that. And so it kind of intrigued me, but it wasn't cheap. So I spent $30 on this little kit. So today we're going to take a look at it, see if it would be worth paying $30 for, and see what you could maybe build your own kit for. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what all it has in it. And then we'll kind of look into other options. Okay, so I hope you guys can forgive my outdoor table. I know this thing is a mess, but it's what we got to work with. So in this kit, it has a micro sparker, some Tender Quick, a liquid filled compass, survival fishing and sewing kit, a little roll of duct tape, waterproof dry bag, mini rescue flash signal mirror. It's got a slim rescue howler whistle, and finally a survival blanket. Now I want to start off by saying that in no way is this video sponsored. I purchased this with my own money. I'll be giving you my own opinions, and so you guys may have other opinions, and if you do, I'd love it if you just leave me a comment below. But this is my opinion. I purchased this by myself. Video is not sponsored. Okay, so just to start off with, the kit comes in this little waterproof bag. And, you know, it may or may not be waterproof. I don't know. I guess I could test it, but I don't know if I'm into that right now. It honestly is just a little roll top bag, and you can only roll it a couple times, and it's just got a plastic edge on it here. So I don't know how much confidence I would put into that. So the little bag, it's nothing special, it's nothing fancy, and so I don't know how much value I would truly put on that, and it's so small. But this kit comes in under 6 ounces, so that's kind of nice. It's something you could just throw at the bottom of a bag, in your glove compartment, in a lady's purse. I don't know, you know, the convenience, that's something you're going to have to decide. Is the convenience worth the money for you? But let's go ahead and take some of the stuff out of this bag and take a look at it. Okay, so first off, we'll take out the little Tender Quick things. Now these, I believe, are just a wax infused cotton. It says they are waterproof, and kind of break them apart like that, and that's exactly what it is. It's just like a waxed infused cotton that keeps them waterproof. So that's pretty handy. All right, next up we got this little striker. It's basically like a big lighter. So it's got the striking wheel like a big lighter. It does throw a spark. Will it light one of these, I wonder? Yep, it will definitely do it. Very cool. Alright, next up we've got the little compass. Pretty nice. It's not super heavy duty, but it doesn't weigh much, and you could put it on a string and hang it around your neck, so that could come in pretty handy. It seems like it's a pretty decent little compass. Okay, so next up we have a little roll of silver duct tape. It doesn't say how much is on this roll, but I would say probably maybe 6 feet or so on that roll. It's not rolled super dense, so I would say somewhere around 6 feet of duct tape on that roll. It does come with this nice little slim line, very slim line whistle. Again, you can tie a string around that. Maybe you put these two things together on a string, hanging around your neck. Might be pretty nice. Does it work? Yeah, it's pretty loud. So, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. Now, next, we have the little fishing and sewing kit. Against my better judgment, I'm going to open it up. It will never, probably ever go back in this little thing. If I can even get it out of here. Oh yeah, nope, it ain't ever going back in there now for sure. Great. Just dropped it all on the ground. Okay, so crisis averted. It wasn't a huge deal. The hooks and everything are in this little plastic bag. It's got 2 or 3 of the tiniest hooks I've ever seen in here. A couple, well, let me just take it out of here and show you. Okay, let's take this stuff out. So it has some very, very thin monofilament line, a little piece of copper wrapped around it, I'm guessing just to hold it together. But there's a good bit there. There's probably 15 feet or so of line there, I would guess. I'm not taking it all the way out. Get out of here, ant. I'm not taking it all the way apart to look at that. Let's dump the rest of this stuff out. Make a little mess to see what happens. Okay, so you got a little swivel here. One little swivel. You got 4 of the tiniest little hooks, which tiny hooks can catch little fish and big fish, so I get that. And 2 of these little sinkers here that aren't heavy enough to weigh anything down. So the little fishing side of this thing is definitely unremarkable, and you could do a whole lot better making this yourself. Ow. Little hooks are sharp. Try to get this all back together before I move on. Squeeze the air out of the little bag. Okay, fishing kit back together. Now they call this the sewing kit, but it doesn't come with any thread. So I'm guessing the string, the fishing line, would be multi-purpose. So you could use that for sewing or for fishing. It comes with 1 needle, pretty good size eye on it, pretty thick needle. So that might come in pretty handy, as long as you don't lose it, so you don't have a backup on that. But then it comes with 4 of these pretty decent size safety pins, and so that's a pretty good thing there. You could fix some stuff temporarily with these safety pins. Safety pin your pants, or a hole in your pack if your zipper breaks, something like that. That could come in pretty handy. So I'm a little underwhelmed on the sewing and fishing kit on this, but it's a pre-made kit, so you get what somebody else considers important. That being said, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this back together, and I do believe I was wrong. It all went back together just fine. So it's nice that it's compact like that, and it's all in the little tube there, so that's pretty nice. I do like that. Next up in this pack, we have what they call it, the mini rescue flash signal mirror. So that's this little bad boy right here. As you can see, it flashes. It's got a protective coating on it already, and so it's not scratching up the face of it while it's just in the pack here. So that's pretty nice. It's, you know, keeps it protected until you have to have it. But that could come in handy if you needed a signal for rescue or something. You could definitely get a little flash out there for somebody if you needed some help. So it's not the biggest mirror in the world, but it would work, I think. Depends on the situation, obviously. Alright, so last up in the kit, we have an emergency blanket. I'm definitely not going to completely unfold this emergency blanket, but I want to take it out of the pack just to see if I can feel how thick it is. So this is just typical thin emergency blanket. It's, you know, it'll stretch and tear. Definitely for an emergency, but it's not going to be something that you're going to use multiple times. So that being said, it's pretty big though. It is 60 by 96, so that is 5 foot. Yeah, 5 foot by 8 foot. So it's actually a pretty good size emergency blanket. That's not too bad. So you definitely could wrap up with this, or being 5 foot by 8 foot, if you set it up just right, you could use it for a little tarp. It takes a little work to use these things as a tarp because it doesn't have tie-out points and stuff on there, and you kind of have to be a little more knowledgeable about how to do that. But it's not impossible. But this thing is not like super heavy duty, so that's kind of a drawback to it. But really, I paid 30 bucks for this whole little kit right here. So $30 isn't a ton of money, but it's not cheap in my opinion. And you guys know I love a budget piece of gear, and I also like to make my own kit. So let's go look through Walmart and see how much we could put a kit like this together for, and just see if it would be cheaper to do it that way, or if it's worth it to just buy this already pre-put together kit. Alright, well unfortunately the Walmart trip didn't work out as planned. Just too many people running around in there to film, and it was so noisy and everything, it was just going to be a nightmare to try to deal with. So I went around and I took a bunch of pictures of each item, and so I'll show you those pictures, and then we'll talk about the prices of them. Okay, so the first thing that I've got on here, going clockwise, is the survival emergency blanket. Now I found a survival blanket at Walmart. Emergency blanket's what they're calling it. It says that it's compact, lightweight design, made from aluminized, non-stretch polyester, stays flexible in freezing temperatures, windproof, waterproof, and helps retain body heat. It's 52 inches wide by 82.5 inches long. So the Scout Survival Kit from SOL has it beat in the fact that theirs is 60 inches wide by 96 inches long. However, the price of this emergency blanket is $2.74. So $2.74, but you're not getting as big a blanket as the emergency blanket in the SOL kit. And I would be willing to bet it's thinner. So just keep that in mind. So next up, we have the Slim Rescue Howler Whistle. Now, I was not able to find something exactly comparable at Walmart for this. But what I did find was a 4-function whistle for $3.47. Has a thermometer, a magnifier, a button compass, and a whistle. Now, You guys know I hate the button compasses, but that just came along with this whistle. So for $3.47, you get 4 functions. Maybe not the best item, but it's the only thing I could find at Walmart that was comparable, and the whistle would work. Okay, so next on the list is the Mini Rescue Flash Signal Mirror. Now, I couldn't find anything like that at Walmart, so I went on Amazon and looked around, and what I found was this Dioche Survival Mirror. Outdoor multifunction emergency rescue reflective signal star flash mirror tool for $6.92. It's the closest thing, the cheapest thing that I could find that would match what was in this kit. This kit has a tiny roll of, like a little 2-inch roll of duct tape on there that has maybe 6 to 10 feet on it. It doesn't say on here how many feet's actually on it, but I would guesstimate 6 feet, maybe 10 feet, but I don't even know if 10 feet's on there. But Walmart, I looked for the little 1-inch roll of duct tape, the Gorilla Tape, but they didn't have it at the time. But I did find a whole roll of duct tape, Gorilla brand duct tape, for $5.64. Now this duct tape is 10 yards of duct tape. So, you know, that's a lot of duct tape. You could make several of these kits with that amount of duct tape. So for $5.64, I think that's a pretty good deal. Okay, so next up on this list is the Survival Fishing and Sewing Kit. That you guys seen me take that thing out and look at it, and it was pretty dang pathetic. So what I did was I decided to go ahead and check out the price of some hooks and the price of some line, and then I went ahead and looked at a sewing kit. So the hooks that were basically equivalent to the hooks in this kit were $1.32, and that came with 10 hooks. So then I found the fishing line, and the fishing line is $2.42 for a whole spool of fishing line. 700 yards of 4-pound, which I'm assuming what's in this kit is probably 4-pound test. And like I said, it may have had 15, maybe 20, but I would imagine around 15 feet on it. And for $2.42, you're getting 700 yards of fishing line. So you're talking pennies worth of fishing line in this kit. And that was just a pathetic little fishing kit. I didn't even look at sinkers, because the sinkers that were in that kit right there are completely useless, and it's a waste of time to even consider those part of the kit. The sewing kit was $1. Literally, it was $1. And the kit contains 4 thread spools, 10 yards each, a pair of scissors, 2 straight pins, 2 hand needles, a needle threader, 3 safety pins, 2 buttons, and a 25-inch tape measure for $1. And this kit had a needle in it. Literally is the only thing it had in it. It had a needle for sewing, and then 4 safety pins, I think. And the safety pins were good size, but you know, it was a pretty pathetic little, what they call a survival fishing and sewing kit. It really was pathetic. So I think that the $1 Walmart kit is a better deal than the little sewing kit that comes in this thing. Okay, so next up on this list is the little liquid-filled compass. Now, I will admit, the little liquid-filled compass in this kit was pretty dang cool. It was small, compact, but it seemed to be fairly accurate when I did just a little quick test of north, and knowing where north is on my property, it seemed pretty accurate. And it's pretty handy because it's small enough you could tie it on a string, just drop it in your shirt, or drop it in your pocket, and it would be pretty handy to have. Now, you could compare that to the little liquid-filled compass on the whistle, And because it's a 4-in-1 function, you could kind of add that in with the price. Or you could go and add a lensatic compass that Walmart had on the shelf for like $4.87. So we'll add that into the price, but that would be something that you could kind of use your own discretion on and decide whether or not it's worth it to buy the extra compass or just kind of rely on that little button compass that comes with that 4-function whistle. Okay, so in this kit, we had the micro sparker, and that thing actually worked pretty good. It was basically like a striker off of a Bic lighter. And so I started to use a Bic lighter in the kit, but I didn't think that was really fair because a Bic lighter is more of a guaranteed type fire. So I decided to go ahead and go with Walmart's Ozark Trail brand fire starter, which is just a little ferro rod with a striker on it. It's pretty cheaply made, but the thing comes in at around $5.87. So $5.87 for a ferro rod. You could definitely get a Bic lighter for cheaper than that, but if we're comparing kind of apples to apples, I think that's the best comparison. Okay, so last up, this kit had those little Tender Quicks in it. It's just like a little waxed cotton fire plug. I didn't find anything comparable to that in Walmart, but if you guys watched the DIY Mini Infernos video that I made, I showed you on that video how to make a ton of those Mini Infernos for pennies on the dollar. So those things are super, super cheap to make, and they definitely work great. I've used them a ton now, and I would say those are comparable to these little Tender Quicks, and very, very cheap to make. Alright guys, so that's a grand total of $33.50 for a kit you put together yourself. To wrap this thing up, do I think you are better off to build your own kit or buy this pre-made SOL kit? Well, I think that's going to be up to your own opinion. I would say that some of the things that are in this kit are definitely higher quality than what you might get from Walmart. But is it worth the extra money? That's going to be the thing that you're going to have to think about. Now, I paid right at $30, tax included, for this kit at Bass Pro Shop. Now, I will say, for the kit you put together yourself, you're getting a lot more duct tape, a lot more fishing string, better hooks, and a better sewing kit. And the Mini Infernos that you can make are really, really good. The little rescue mirror is about equivalent, I think. And I do believe that the survival blanket in this kit is also better. Now, in this kit, I will say I would rather have the extra duct tape and the extra fishing line. So if you really think about it, you could make more than one kit with the things that you buy to put the kit together, and you're not limited to just what comes in this kit. So ultimately, I think this is something that you would have to make that decision on your own. Is this something that you want to put together yourself and tuck all the little things in there yourself? Or do you just want to go grab this thing off the shelf and buy it and have it and hope you never have to use it? So that being said, leave me a comment below and let me know what you would prefer to do. Are you the person like me that likes to go pick and choose all the little things and build your kit yourself? Or are you the type of person that likes to just go grab it off the shelf and hope it works? If you like this video, guys, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. And I appreciate you following me through this video. We'll see you next week.